Tilak Varma's batting, Gambhir's coaching tenor for India, and Sanju Samson's father are all getting a mention on Hogg's vlog today. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Well, Tilak Varma, 200s in a row. The first one out Super Sport Park 2 days ago, or 3 days ago now, was something special. It's your first 100. It would be a sigh of relief for the left-handed batsman. But I love the way that he goes about it. It was tough conditions there. He didn't lose his mind. He just thought, right, this is how I'm going to play on it. I've got to take a few risks. If luck's my way, luck is my way, but I've got to back myself. And he did the same thing in the second game as well. When you have that positive attitude, chances or half chances that go to the opposition aren't taken. You have that little bit of luck. So you've got to have that positive mindset. But there's one thing that I love about Tilak Varma. I was very fortunate to meet him a couple of years ago where I was coach of the Reliance team. That's a T20 in a T20 competition just before the 2023 IPL. I watched his diligence in the way that he prepared. He was doing video analysis of opposition bowlers. He was thinking, right, this is where they're going to bowl to me, this is where they're going to try and get me out, but this is where I can score off them and put them under pressure. So if you want to be a first-class batter, the top of your game, peak of your game, you've got to have that preparation. So Tilak Varma, I think, moving forward, the way that he goes about his game, he's going to be one of the best white ball batsmen that we have seen in international cricket. He's going to get a lot more opportunities. And there's one other thing that I'm going to say about Tilak Varma. The way that he works around the team, the way that he talks to his other teammates, I think he's a true leader. I think he will be a future captain for India in the white ball game.
10 വർഷം എൻ്റെ മകൻ്റെ 10 വർഷം ഇല്ലാതാക്കിയ ഒരു 3-4 പേരുണ്ട് 3 ക്യാപ്റ്റൻസ് ധോനി ജി വിരാട് ജി हमारा ये रोहित जी ये 3 कैप्टन एंड ये द्राविड जी ഈ 4 പേരും എൻ്റെ മകൻ്റെ 10 വർഷം കളഞ്ഞു.
Sanju Samson's father coming out and saying to the public that Dhoni, Kohli, Rohit, Dravid has held his career back 10 years is not the ideal situation that you want to be in. They are 4 big names of Indian cricket. They've had a lot of success. Sanju Samson is a fantastic player. He's starting to cement his place in that Indian team. He's made 200s in a row, and I just feel that comments like this from the family that are out in the open will put too much pressure on Sanju Samson moving forward. I think there's got to be an apology made, and this is for the benefit of the Sanju Samson's career moving forward as well. He's established himself in IPL. He's the captain of Rajasthan Royals. There has been quality players, quality batsmen who have all lined up for India. It's very hard to break in there. So you've got to back the process. All you can do, all you can control as a player is just putting runs on the board consistently. You can't control what the selectors what's in the selector's mind. So for me, when it comes to situations like this, keep the mouth shut and just let the bat do the talking. Now Sanju Samson, we've talked about his father and those little comments that his father might have put him under a little bit of pressure, but I just want to say one thing with Sanju Samson, spending a lot of time with him out the Rajasthan Royals, especially when he was a younger player. He had a great attitude, he had a great temperament, and it showed in this comeback 100. He's just come off 2 ducks after making 200s in a row, and with the pressure of that media hype with the comments made by his father, he was able to sit down and get back on track. So there are going to be moments throughout one's career where you are going to be tested with the mindset. There are going to be times where you're spotting that team feels a little bit under pressure, where teammates might be thinking, hey, what's going on here? But you've got to turn it around. You've got to take the knocks with the good times, and that's what Sanju Samson has done. You sat back, realised, right, those comments aren't probably ideal, But I've got to do the right thing by the team here. I've got to try and let it go and just concentrate on today and make tomorrow a better day. And that's what he did yesterday. He was looking at the present moment rather than what's happened in the past. He's forgotten about it. It's like water off a duck's back, and that's the way you've got to operate to be a top-class cricketer. So Sanju Samson, a brilliant comeback. I just want to make one quick comment about Abhishek Sharma as well. In this game in Joburg, where the ball carries a little bit, does a little bit as well in the air, his little cameo knock up front where he was willing to move around the crease, get forward, go down the pitch, it put the South African bowlers off. They weren't looking to bowl that fuller length. They weren't able to get that swing. And Abhishek Sharma put the South African bowlers off. And Tilak and Sanju Samson were able to capitalise. And if you flip it over to the South African batting scenario, they were playing from the crease. They got caught on the crease. They weren't willing to try and get the bowler to change his length by coming down the pitch or just slightly moving away. And India were able to control the situation with both bat and ball. That's something that you've got to look out too when you're looking to play T20 cricket. The bowler's looking to go on that length. If it's swinging early on, sometimes you've got to take a calculated risk, move down the pitch, but make sure you get yourself in a still position, and hopefully the bowler can bowl a little bit shorter. All of a sudden, there's not as much swing. That's something that you can look out to add to your game moving forward. There's been a bit of a discussion about Gautam Gambhir's tenure as coach of India after the Australian series if they don't have success down under. Now this is all coming about because of the poor performance against New Zealand. But you've just got to try and put things in perspective here. The coach is there to create culture, to create the boundaries, but also to provide the resources for the players to make sure they are preparing themselves the best they possibly can for the game ahead, for the calendar that's ahead as well. So Gautam might have been sitting there against New Zealand. We've just won against Bangladesh. New Zealand haven't been successful here in India. This could be an opportunity just to give a few of the players a bit of respite, spend a bit more time with the family, less time on the training track in preparation for that big tour to Australia later on in the year, because it is a huge tour. And then there's other events in the calendar where the Indian team are going to be away from that family. So he might have been doing the right thing there. Don't take it too harshly. This is all rumours. It doesn't matter what happens down here in Australia. If India win 3-2, if Australia win 3-2 down here in India, that's still successful for India here because they've won 2 test matches and they've nearly won the series. Remember, it's foreign soil down here. It's harder conditions for the Indian players. They've had success over the last couple of times that they've come down here, but winning the series doesn't define Gautam Gambhir's role as coach. I think there's going to be a long tenure there. I think he's settling in there, and I think he's the right man for the job moving forward. Just don't take those rumours to heart. One bit of advice I could probably give Gautam Gambhir: when Ricky Ponting says something, don't react to it. He's only just trying to wind you up, as we all do down here in Australia. And just sticking with Gautam Gambhir, is it the coach's responsibility for the success of the team? Mostly, yes. But you have to look at the selection committee. Who has the biggest sway in selecting the team? If it's the captain, and the captain's getting his own way with the 11 that he wants out in the middle, well then it becomes more so on the captain's side with the responsibility of getting that team to perform, because he's getting the players that he wants out in the middle. And if he's not making the right choices, then it's his responsibility. But as a coach, you have bigger responsibility because you're the one who is creating that environment that builds a culture, that builds the boundaries, that creates the resources and gives the resources for every player in that squad to be prepared to the best of their ability to perform out in the middle when the heat is on. So for me, if I was looking at a cricket team, it is the coach that has bigger responsibility for the success of the team rather than the captain, because the coach is the one that is there to talk to the players, comfort the players, but also give them good, solid feedback and solid direction moving forward so that they get the best out of their careers. Don't forget, I want to see your comments downstairs as usual on the topics we've discussed, but also get your questions in that you want me to answer on Hogg's Vlog. See you soon.